Hello kids, welcome to math class with Miss Rani. Today we gonna study about two-step word problems, chapter 10, lesson 1. Now could you please look at your pupils book page 3. Questions number 1. There are 26 boys and 19 girls in class. How many children are there in the class? So look at this. We have the models. The first one is yellow box and then the blue box. So the boys is 26 is yellow and the girls is 19, the blue one. So here 26 plus 19 equals 45. So we can add it plus 26 plus 19 is 45. So there are 45 children in the class. But now look at here, we're not yet finished. Then 7 children leave the class. How many children are there in the class now? Okay. This is the green box. Is the total of children in the class, 45, And then this is the orange box. Is 7 children who leave the class. So 45 is minus 7 equals 38 because 7 children leave the class, so we will minus here. So there are 38 children in the class now. So until this we finish. Next, go on to page 4. Number 2, Mr. Fong has 24 black markers. After buying another 12 red markers, Mr. Fong has 14 markers more than Miss Chua. So this is, we have 2 questions, part A and part B. The first one is, how many markers does Mr. Fong have altogether? And then the second is, how many markers does Miss Chua have? So we do this. The first, First, find the number of markers Mr. Fong has altogether. So here, Mr. Fong has 24 black markers. So here we write, or we can see 24 is Mr. Fong, and then after buying another 12 red markers, Mr. Fong has 14 markers more than Miss Chua. So this one, he buying another 12 red markers. So he has more markers, so 24 plus 12 is 36. So Mr. Fong has 36 markers altogether. Okay, and then look at part B. How many markers does Miss Chua have? Okay, Mr. Fong has 36 markers, and then Miss Chua, we don't know how many markers of Miss Chua have. So we have to find out by minus 14 because Mr. Fong has 14 markers more than Miss Chua. Mr. Fong ini punya lebih banyak spidol daripada Miss Chua, jadi harus kita cari selisihnya. 36 minus 14 equals 22. So this one we know how many Miss Chua has the markers. So Miss Chua has 22 markers because of 36 minus 14. Okay, let's move on to page 6. This is the exercise. Number 1, there are 22 boys and 16 girls in Vicky's class. There are 5 more children in Joshua's class than in Vicky's class. We have A and B questions. The first one is how many children are there in Vicky's class? And then how many children are there in Joshua's class? So we find it. This one, part A. There are 22 boys and then 16 girls in Vicky's class. Okay, we write it. This is 22 for boys, and then this one 16 for the girls. So we count all together. It will be plus, yeah, 22 plus 16. Okay, we counting 22 plus 16. 2 plus 6 is, yeah, 8. And then 2 plus 1 is, okay, 3. So 22 plus 16 is 38. So there are 38 children in Vicky's class. But we not yet finished. Part B, how many children are there in Joshua's class? So we have Joshua and Vicky. Joshua, we don't know how many children in Joshua's class, but we know Vicky, how many children in Vicky's class, yeah. The first one, we write 38. And then this one, we write 5 because there are 5 more children in Joshua's class than in Vicky's class. So we write 38 and then 5. So we write 38 plus 5 is 38 plus 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. And then 1 plus 3 is 4. So there are 43 children in Joshua's class. Okay, go on to the next page. Page 7. Mr. Eng had a 620-meter long fence. His fence was 279 meters longer than Mr. Cheng's fence. What was the total length of fences altogether? So whose fences was longer, Mr. Eng or Mr. Cheng's? So Mr. Cheng's, we don't know, but we have Mr. Eng, yeah, because Mr. Eng has 620. So we write 620, but his fence was 279 meters longer than Mr. Cheng's fence. So we write it 279 here. Okay. Okay, now we write 620 because his fence was 279 meters longer than Mr. Cheng's fence. So we minus 279. So we counting 620 minus 279. Zero cannot minus 9, so it can be borrow, yeah. 10 minus 9 is 1. And then this one, 2 is already borrowed. And then 1 cannot minus 7, so they can borrow. 11 minus 7 is 4. And then this one, 6 is already borrowed. So 5 left. 5 minus 2 is 3. So 620 minus 279 is 341. So Mr. Cheng's fence was 341 meters long. Next, Mr. Cheng, we already know. Yeah, we write 341. And then Mr. Ng, we write 620. So here we write 341 because it's the question is the total length of fence was blah 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 meter all together. Nah, ini biasanya ditambah ya, Nak. So 341 plus 620. So we are counting 341 plus 620. So 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 plus 2 is 6, and then 3 plus 6 is 9. So the answer is 961. So the total length of fences was 961. Okay, let's move on to the workbook. Okay, here is the workbook. Yeah, chapter 10, two-step word problem, addition and subtraction. Practice 1, number 1. Uncle Said had 78 boxes of oranges and 130 boxes of peach. After selling some boxes of peaches, he had 159 boxes of fruits left. So we have two questions, part A and part B. The first one is, how many boxes of fruit did Uncle Said have at first? And the second question is, how many boxes of peaches did Uncle Said sell? So we have two boxes. Uncle Said has 78 boxes of oranges. So we write 78 and then 130 boxes of peaches. So we write 130. So the question is, how many boxes of did Uncle Said have at first? So we count all together. Yeah, 130 plus 78. 0 plus 8 is 8. 3 plus 7 is 10. So we put 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we know the answer, 208. Uncle Said had 208 boxes of fruits at first. Then part B. The question is, Uncle Said sold blah 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 boxes of peaches. Okay. So we write, he had 159 boxes of fruit left. So we write 159. And then the first one, yeah, Uncle Said had 280 boxes of fruit at first, so we write here. Okay. Now, how many Uncle Said sold blah 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 boxes of peaches? So we count. Do you know it is it plus or minus? Yeah, this is minus because we just find out how many fruits ya Uncle said. So 8 minus 9 is cannot, so they have to borrow, become 18. 18 minus 9 is 9, and then 0 cannot minus 5. Yeah, can be borrow because this one is already borrowed by 8. So we write 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. And then 2 cannot minus 1 because it's already 1 left. So Uncle said solved 49 boxes of peaches. Okay, for the number 2 and the number 3, you can continue by yourself or we can discuss when Zoom. Okay, bye-bye kids. Happy learning.